Boom. Salutations. Been away for a minute. Last video I came from the heart and I came hard with it, and that was that bad advice video. So let me put my sword away, because I may have cut a few people, and I was very direct about that, especially if they could not meet the criteria of which I was asking in that video. Alright, so putting that away, and some of the good inquisitions that came, some of the good questions that came that I think are worth addressing. One of them is, what happens when you go into the light? And that was asked in both a derogatory way and by other people in a positive way. So I think it's worth, addressing. And the way I'll answer that is about 2 or 3-fold way. One is based on what I've experienced crossing earthbound spirits that are inside the energy field that I've talked about. All right, and the data I've collected from that, what I've seen, and since doing that workshop, the amount of people I've done in my personal life has increased significantly. So I've done much more and seen even more now and learned more. It's a continuing learning process. But that's the first part of addressing this answer. The second part will be what I and probably you and other people have researched. And then the third will be my personal near-death experience. And we're kind of used that trifold, the 3, to actually, that's a good number, 3, to actually kind of cross-reference, and I'll answer that question in that way. And I think there's a great deal of validity that comes with that. All right, starting with my personal near-death experience. And I've went over that several times, so I won't go too in-depth with that, but we'll focus on the angelics that I saw during this near-death experience. These, what the Uranta would term super nanofem, that type of angelic. And they were actually these, this is the illustration from Christine Dennett, they were these corpuscles of light, like each one of them like hundreds of corpuscles of light with these shields outside of that. So these beings were projecting coming off them, they're very regal, was an intense amount of love energy. So much love that I think much more would have probably disintegrated my human body. I'm sure that they were holding back to a degree. So comparing that to the type of higher extraterrestrials that I've encountered, type beings or whatever they are, on some of these craft and things that are emitting a light, they're emitting a lot of love frequency also. It wasn't to the degree of these angelics that I saw when I had died. And keeping in term that means we must be able of generating that type of love ourselves, that to that degree, to that awareness, that consciousness. So that's something that I want to leave there for that part, and take that and turn that into some of what I've experienced when crossing Earthbound Spirits. And period, no matter what anyone says, the love and the light are connected. Period. I've seen it too many times now, and that is important when dealing with earthbound spirits and being aware of that. All right, so in that way, I've seen people, loved ones, cross over that have crossed over, that are able of coming back and helping the person, the loved one, to cross over themselves. All right, I think that any mediums can see that, even with spirits that are on the outside of the energy field. That is, I think, a commonality. So keep that in mind, and that's very important. All right, so when someone goes into the light, not just are they no longer trapped here on Earth, they're sometimes able to go there and change and come back in some type of angelic fashion, because I'll see them come through these portals. They'll be there with these excuse me, with angelics, and I think due to cognitive dissonance, I can still perceive them somewhat of their humanoid form, to where the others are still straight angelics that have come through these portals. So they're able to use these, and I think that turns them and changes them what we would term cherubim, a type of seraphim that's called cherubim that comes with another angel. There's two of them often. I think that's what maybe happened, and whatever happens on the other side is change that they go through. So I think that's noteworthy, all right? How the love of God and the light are connected. And I say that God directly, all right? And that's something you encounter or enjoy personally. It's a personal experience to you. I say that in a non-religious fashion. I have no religion. But love, light, and God are all connected, period. And I've seen it in multiple crossings now. Something else that I think to address is what I've studied and how this kind of ties in also. So this will take us over into the word mansion worlds. I'll put up pictures of that. And I believe it's in the Christian Bible. Yeshua had said, in his Father's house is many mansions. But you take that and look at the Urantia book. The Urantia book talks about mansion worlds that happen after death. The various worlds we experience after death. It's called the mansion worlds. They describe like 12 of them, I believe. So it's very, very interesting. Something like the first one is described as these crystal palaces. And I've done a video on Patreon that goes over about mansion worlds only. So the people that are on there, look for that. Okay, that's a video that's connected to this directly. And at these mansion worlds, like the first one is described as being these crystal palaces. Daniel Brinkley saw something like that. I know other near-death experience people have seen that. So that's something to take into, I think, awareness also. And how the Bardo Thodol, when it describes this Bardo being the different astral levels after death, all right, that's also going to be the mansion worlds. It's a similarity there. What I think, what is it? Paramahansa Yogananda said about Sri Yutiswara after he passed when he appeared to him. I believe Yutiswara described what level of the Bardo he had incarnated on after his passing. So all these things are kind of connected in that way. So when I'm seeing one of these portals and the assistance that's coming, is they coming from the mansion worlds, from that type of a Bardo reality? That's definitely, I think, worth of thinking, and the connection there. And something about Earthbound Spirits. They can't use those portals. Definitely not ones like that. Sometimes they can use ones in haunted houses, these darker portals, but that just seems to jump them around the house. And then they're outside of that, they're almost hitchhikers on people and trapped here roaming. And I've heard many of them describe a type of hell to me, and not knowing, and the light and the love and God are connected. So that is important. And I won't say, I guess, go too much more into it than that, reveal much more, because these are earthbound people. They're not the demonic that we're talking about here. These are people like you and me that don't cross over for various reasons, and then they get entwined with people and they create havoc in a person's life. And the fact that there's as many of earthbound spirits as there are the living is a big problem here. So I've got a few notes I'm going to go over to make sure that I've got everything here. I've got in saying how earthbound spirits are suffering. That's definitely, I think lost souls is definitely the proper term for them. All right. When I've also, I think that, actually, I pretty much got everything. All right. One thing I do want to mention is that after doing the workshop with Alexis Brooks, I got inundated with people wanting like remote sessions, remote hypnosis. I do know now I can do that. I've done that several times now privately, and it's just as effective as in person, which shocks me. I didn't think it would be, but it is. So I do perform remote hypnosis. I've still got some people from the workshop to do first, and I will do it openly to the people that take it seriously and want my services for that. So I'll put my emails at the end of this video barrylonesand13@gmail.com. And send you an email, serious ones only, and I'll get back with you and we'll see if we can work it out. Otherwise, thank you for all the people that have supported me coming this far. I didn't know if I was going to do any more of these videos, but it's time. I was pushed to do this one, so I wanted to do that and address this topic definitely, and say thank you for all the people that have give kind comments and are talking amongst yourselves and spreading this type of information. You know, so it certainly isn't about me. This is about the creator and about the situation that we're in right now, because clearly this place is in bad shape. And the amount of people not crossing over and recycling here, reincarnating here again and again are issues. And this is one of the things that going into the light does prevent. It's not just a trick of reincarnating back. Some of these people are not just coming back. And at that point when they are in the light, how much of that is their choice and ability to come back here? We don't know fully. So these are things that have to be really thought of and taken seriously. Anyway, thank you very much. Please press the subscription button. Press the button. I have been re-shadow banned or something because I'm in that algorithm now. My view count has went down by like 600 or 700 again. And I don't know why. It's got to be this algorithm, but my subscription count is still going up. So please, I've had a few people tell me they've had to hit the bell again. This is the second time they've had to do it. So something's going on. I don't know exactly what besides this shadow banning, but I'm not going to stop now. I'm going to keep going. So please subscribe, hit the button, and share the video. Peace.